I think it's a very competitive fight, and the only reason that I'd lean slightly in McGregor's direction is because we've seen him regroup and change. You know, the changes, the shifts, the regrouping in Poirier's career has always been down to will and determination, and I'm just going to double my work rate and be twice as conditioned and be more aggressive. Whereas McGregor's, he's found technical solutions to problems. So I can see him, and you know that's burned in the back of his mind. He can be sitting in his fancy shorts on his sunbed drinking proper 12 all he likes. But every morning he wakes up and looks himself in the mirror, he remembers that moment where he's lying up against the fence on the floor with Poirier walking away. That's the kind of thing that eats away at him. And I can only imagine McGregor's got 1,001 different ways to deal with Poirier. I still think it's very, very competitive. But I'm leaning slightly towards McGregor just based on how he approaches the game.
It is a tough one after seeing what happened last fight, but I still feel like Conor is more dangerous. And, I feel like he's going to be dangerous early again. And I think he'll be able to control where it goes maybe a little bit better than where it did go. Obviously, he got a little bit tight in them calf kicks and things like that. But I do believe he's going to get his hands on Poirier. And I feel like Conor's going to get it. I think he gets a finish. I said that last time and I was wrong, but I still believe but I mean, you could still see that he was hurting Dustin and things like that. So Dustin definitely can fight a clever fight and, maybe engage in some clinch and things like that just to wear on Conor and not let him get Conor's hands on him so early, which I think he needs to do. But if he tries to stand up and think, oh yeah, what happened later in the round is going to happen early in the fight, if he feels like, oh, I've got better hands than Conor, I knocked him out, that's not going to end well for Dustin early in the fight. Again, slow him down, wear him down, then you can probably put hands on him. But early, I wouldn't take that risk. But I feel like he might.
Yeah, that's hard. Like, it's hard to for Conor to make an adjustment in such a short space of time. It's not like he can say, "Oh, I'll just check the calf kick or whatever," something like that. But that's a big change to make. It's kind of like Dustin made the improvements. Dustin made the adjustments. Dustin kind of figured them out. I feel like I'm leaning towards Dustin in the rematch, just because of such a short space of time between the first and second fights.
Oh man, that's a good one. I think the person that has to do more changing of the fighters is definitely Conor. I mean, Dustin Poirier has been fighting pretty much the same way for the longest time. He's got great boxing, good timing. He's tough as nails. He likes to sit in the pocket. And he's intelligent, He kind of lost something his last fight. And I think it was all the boxing that he was doing. He doesn't have that movement anymore that you normally saw, like when he fought Jose Aldo. It was the movement that won him that fight. And he was kind of standing there in front of Dustin Poirier, and he took a lot of low calf kicks, and that's what settled it, sealed the deal. So he's got to get back and to get moving like a karate guy. He's got to get back into getting on his bike and moving, using that in and out movement, switching sides, playing that game if he's going to go out there and beat him again. Because he can draw out Dustin Poirier's strikes with his movement, and him being such a good counterpuncher can counter off of that. So out of the two, Conor's got to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how hard it is or how long he's been doing the boxing stuff, but he's got to get out of that and get back to his movement. If he can do that, Conor can win.
Probably Dustin. Hopefully Dustin. But I think, obviously McGregor's going to make some adjustments. He doesn't have the best track record once the fight goes longer. Dustin has a very good track record when the fight goes longer, and he's also proven that he's very durable, like the Dustin that he is now. And McGregor hit him with some pretty clean stuff, and he sort of just carries on and shakes off a little bit, and he's very patient when he fights. And I don't know, man. I don't think McGregor, if it was the old McGregor, it would be a different story, but I just don't see that same hunger and tenacity that he used to have in him anymore.
So let's break this down, right? So I thought that Poirier did a really good thing in the beginning. He threw a punch, McGregor countered that, and then he countered the counter. and he connected with that one. That was right in the beginning of the fight somewhere. And I think that he needs to start doing this more. And you can do that. You can trigger your opponent to do that, because McGregor, his go-to move is the left, is the cross, because he's so accurate with it. It's so powerful. If he connects, it's lights out. So if you throw a lazy punch, you kind of know he's going to throw the cross. And then if you use that movement and you counter that counter, that's when you're called. And also start countering counters not with single shots. Everybody does that. And it blows me away. I go, if you connect with the first punch, like for instance, if he connects, every time he connects with the left straight, or his right is also good, his jab, which is actually more of a straight punch because he's a little squared up sometimes. So it's a powerful punch. But it's important that you throw it with power and that you come back and throw something slow, weak, so to say, a jab. Let him throw the power shot, and then you want to react on that. But if you connect with the left straight, why would you stop there? Why won't you add a right hook and a right low kick? Stuff like that, I think that he needs to do. So I also like it, he should counter with some hooks more. Throw some hooks in this game. It's a lot of straight punches, especially lately. And also, he took his kicks away. I don't think not kicking for McGregor is not a good thing, because he has got great roundhouse kicks, and a straight punch, a cross, or a left roundhouse kick, for me it's a right, and if I'm an orthodox, of course, it's almost the same body mechanics. So if you give somebody a kick and after that you punch him, that's a very smart thing to do, because now you're mixing it up and he doesn't know what's going to be. It's going to be a kick or a punch. Now Poirier is a little, sometimes he takes risks with throwing single kicks. And he has to watch out for that, because a single kick you can simply block, counter with a punch, and that's it. And since McGregor is so good and so accurate with his counters, I could be very dangerous. We had to show Inside MMA, right? We had 431 shows, guys. Mm-hmm. And every single show we would show highlights from around the world. And every single show, at least one person on those highlights will get knocked out because he was throwing a single shot, a single kick. Because if you kick, most of the time they don't kick with their hands up also. The hands are down, the single kick, it's easy to see coming. They only literally have to stretch the arm or counter with a hook, whatever it is, and to knock their opponent out. So if after 431 examples, still people throw single kicks, I think it's a stupid thing to do. Set your kicks up with punches. This is important. Now, if you kick really hard to somebody's face or to the body as hard as you can get away with it, because now you put him into defense and it takes a little bit longer for him to counter. So power kicks, I'm okay with that. But just to feel out inside low kick, that's asking to get knocked out. So Poirier also countering with combination, I will start to do that as well. And since that McGregor has a really good straight punch, have the hands not here, but have the hands here. I always fought like this. It's much easier to see punches coming. I explained to you. Like, imagine this is the punch coming, right? Mm-hmm. This is a very big a move in order to let me miss. Now, if this punch would come from here, the only thing I have to do is this. At this moment, it's already ricocheting next to my face. So instead of doing this the whole time, having your hands here, you only have to do this move in order to let it miss. So then it's much easier for you to counter with punches. So bring your hands a little bit further out, you guard, bring it further out. It's much easier to counter the straight punches from Conor, which you know he's going to throw. Yeah, I would do more a frontal stance, an open stance like I stand. That's what I like. And if I'm standing wide open, my left foot, my toes are actually pointing a 45-degree angle to the side. If you do that, they cannot give you calf kicks because they kick your shin bone if they do that. So they're going to hurt themselves. So that's the good thing about that stance. Also, the other great thing about that stance is that you're going to have almost equal power in your left and your right. It's both straight punches now. Of course, there's still a cross, but this one, with your shoulders in line, I can push off on my back foot. That's a hard punch. On a crash test dummy, I did this one time. And I hit 100%, let's say, with this one. This one was 91%. Didn't even switch my stance. Just from here, I hit with the left, and it was 91% compared to the right hand. So it's a very powerful strike. And McGregor will be good with that because his jab is a really crisp jab as well. The thing is, though, like I said, he needs to throw in more different combinations now because lately he's been boxing a lot. I actually said that he needs to throw in more kicks because lately I think he's more focusing on the boxing. Mm-hmm. Maybe it comes because after the Mayweather fight, I don't know why, but mixing some kicks more.
You know, I know the person that Dustin Poirier is. You know, everybody knows I have the video. You know, I had a video passed to me by someone that was sick of seeing how, you know, Dustin was treating people in the public eye and behind closed doors. So you know, he was just sick of seeing that. So he passed me the video. I can't wait to release this video to the fans. They're going to lose their mind. They're going to find out the real truth of Dustin Poirier, not the gimmick that he plays, not the nice guy, fake nice guy that he plays on camera just to pretend, you know, to get some extra clicks and this and that. Dustin is nothing more than a piece of shit. The guy is so fake. I mean, he's out here knocking out a guy, an amateur that came to help him. The guy came to help him. He's a kickboxer. This isn't Khabib. You know, you're not training with some high-level fighter. You're training with the amateur that came to help you. You're knocking this guy out, concussing him. Then you're screaming, woo, and New in the kid's face, like celebrating like you just won a UFC world title, Dustin. That's embarrassing, man. That's just disgusting, man. It's despicable. And you know, I'm going to release it to the fans, and they can be the judges. They can decide what they think about Dustin Poirier and what type of person he is. But I can tell you the type of person Dustin is. He's faker than his wife Jolie's gimmicks on her chest. You know, if Conor can make the adjustments, if he can stay out of the way of the calf kick, you know, I see him as that path to victory. I think he's a harder puncher and he's a little bit more fluent on his feet. But, you know, we'll have to see which Conor shows up. Is it the motivated Conor of the past? Is it the guy that's got all that money in his bank account and there's no drive and fire there anymore? So I guess we'll have to see next month. That's why they get locked in the cage, you know, to find out who's going to be. But, you know, if I had to bet on it, I'd probably pick Dustin Poirier. I think he's a little bit better in his prime. And, you know, he's still slightly hungry. You know, he's knocking out all these amateurs in the gym and screaming like he's a world champion. But in reality, he'll never be more than a gatekeeper, and he'll be Khabib's son for life.